Well, my name is Latasha Bester. I am a teaching artist here in Chattanooga. I am a dancer, a poet. Sometimes I sing. So my project is to take kids around the world through art. I used Egypt and the pyramids, and I had them to make their own pyramids using graham crackers. But they learned how to measure, and in first grade they learned measuring through using objects rather than actual rulers. So we used both. We used graham crackers to measure the inside to make sure that they were all in order. And we used our rulers to measure the outside because it was something they hadn't done before, and it's something that they're going to learn in second grade, so it puts them ahead of the class. So they were able to incorporate math in their art. Well, pyramids obviously were made in Egypt, and so I asked them before we started, what did they know about pyramids? What did they know about Egypt? And some of them just pretty much knew that there was sand and it was hot. So I showed a video on some people talking about Egypt and the pyramids, and then I did a review. Okay, what did you learn from that? So I learned that the Nile River was in Egypt, and they also, some of them focused on the fact that slaves built the pyramids, which is okay because every student gets something different from the lesson. So we started out with walk like an Egyptian, of course. So they were able to, of course, use cross-lateral movements and, the typical Egyptian dance that you see, which was interesting to see if they were going to be able to form their hands like this. And some of them just kind of did their own thing, so which is also okay because it's dance. So, and we also used this to kind of bring in some of the typical images that you associate with Egypt and hieroglyphics and all that. Since 2012, I've been in the schools doing all kinds of things, dancing for the most part in the schools. I was in there teaching Zumba. It was the first thing I did. I came in and I spent the whole day at Woodmore teaching Zumba, which was fun in its own self. It was fun. I did pre-K, I did kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Taught them Zumba. They learned different dance styles, and by the time I got finished, they knew how to salsa, actually. They learned how to do salsa with each other, and it wasn't like ew and gross, so that was a whole feat in itself. Now, when I'm creating lesson plans, thankfully for me, I have a first grader. So I will say, okay, what do I want to teach the kids this week? And I'll try to base it off, okay, what are they learning this week? And then I'll try to pick a book that kind of has that theme in it. And I'll read the book, and I'll read it to my first grader, and I'll see what she gets out of it. And from that, I kind of base my lesson plan off of, what she says, because sometimes I feel like adults can overthink everything. So if you just kind of think like a child and get a child's input, it makes it so much more reachable for the kids and not as complicated for the adults. Last semester, most of my lessons fell during Black History Month, so that gave me a chance to just really dive in and teach them about different Black history things and different movements and icons in the music industry that were Black. And some of them, I asked, who are some Black artists? And of course they mentioned, now Beyonce, but a lot of them mentioned Michael Jackson, and one little girl in particular said James Brown. And then I had another little boy say Louis Armstrong. And I was like, oh, okay, well, so I was able to incorporate a lot of that during Black History Month, like teaching them about cotton, and they used cotton to make dandelions, and okay, where did cotton come from, and who picked it, and again, my little girl was really adamant about slaves. I don't know what her thing was, but so I was able to use that particular month and to dive into my culture and Black history and teaching them about different movements and things.